So here we are with a NASCAR WhiteStar modified MPU, and these are called modified because the sound section in the original board, which featured the BSMT 2000 chip, has been totally redone, and everything sits on a CPLD over here, 7582 I think. And this Atmel processor is the brains of the sound side, which used to be a 6809. So this board had a little bit of corrosion, so I replaced the sockets for U213, the game ROM, and the RAM, and I installed NVRAM. I replaced the headers for the plasma display because you never know what's underneath there. Corrosion tends to drip down and get underneath there. And the original complaint with this board was that the display wasn't working. But usually that's U201, sometimes U202, but rarely. Anyway, the root cause of the problem on this board was prior rework. Somebody had socketed U216 with a machine pin socket and didn't do a very good job. So I've replaced the socket on U216. I socketed 201 and 202 for my diagnostic purposes and for future maintenance. Client also sent along the DMD controller board, and again, this is the skinny down board, which again features an Atmel processor and the Xilinx. I'm sorry, it doesn't. It's got the 6809, but it's got the Xilinx CPLD on here also, with different code than the one on the MPU. So here we go. Let's put it into test. You can see these displays are working. These are NASCAR ROMs. So I can test the switches, even though that really wasn't reported to be a problem. I've got my Pinitech test, or switch tester. Skip switch 3 and come back to that. For whatever reason, WhiteStar games won't report that switch closed. No idea why. Maybe because it's a credit button. Not sure. Anyway, those switches are all working. So let's back out of here. Well, it's been a while since I did one of these. And we can test the lamps just for giggles. Make sure it's communicating with the driver board properly. And those are working just fine. I guess we could test the display. It's a rather boring test. And it doesn't do a RAM test like WPC boards do. See, my display on my test rig here is a little bit outgassed there in the lower right hand corner. That's a good use for an outgassed display, to be on a test rig. I need to get a plasma display over on my WPC test rig too. There is no way to speed this up like WPC. You can press the plus or minus keys to make it go faster. So we're good to go there. And why don't we just irritate myself here? Not much of a test for those other ROMs, is it? Usually they will play one of the sound clips from each of the ROMs, but not on NASCAR apparently. All right, this WhiteStar modified MPU and the DMD controller, which all I did with this was I replaced this craptastic 3-pin header that Stern put on those boards. They are good to go. I thank you again for sending them.